Hello again, Speed Test Santiagos. On this video I wanted to test the speed of all the classes and to see who's the fastest and how they compare to each other. So right to start here, I'm going to start with the Ranger class. I tested him in three different areas. One is the 200% sprint here, which is his fastest sprint, which is something I use all the time. His sprint came in at 1 minute even, pretty much. I'm going to be rounding off the tenths of a second, of course, and I will adjust for any slight mistakes, like say for example if I'm rolling for aerator. Later on I'll adjust for that a little bit as well, but it's going to be a pretty close estimate here. So like I said, Ranger's sprinting comes in at 1 minute even. What I did was I just ran from one side of the map, the red border, to the other side of the map, and it's the same map every time, so just to keep some consistency. And I figured it'd be smart to do a long distance. That's why I went from edge to edge, just to get it more accurate overall. So I'm going to fast forward on some of these so it won't be excessively long, but I just want to start off with the intro here. The next thing we're going to do is a helicopter here. This is his helicopter version. He gets the auto acquisition cannon helicopters, and they seem kind of slow, and they also have pretty low health, but not too bad. It came in at 1 minute and 1 second, so it's actually the same speed as him sprinting, which is interesting. So what I did was I pretty much started off the first part of the clip normal speed, so you can get a sense of how it feels, the speed of each vehicle and item, and then I do 2x for the remaining part of it, just so if you're wondering why it's speeding up here. Alright, on to motorcycle. This was something I figured would be very, very fast, and it actually was very fast. I actually didn't even need to 2x speed it because it's so fast. This came in at 23 seconds, so this is probably, this is definitely by far Ranger's quickest movement. It's actually a lot faster, 3 times faster than his other options, so it is a little bit difficult to control. However, the best one, this is the best one, actually is pretty simple to control. It has a good control, but the other ones that kind of slide around. Alright, now we're on to Wing Diver. Now I started off with Wing Diver with her increased flight control, the 30%. I believe it's level 80, and I just pretty much flew the whole time to the edge of the map. I just kind of feathered the trigger here and there, and this came in at 41 seconds, so about twice as long as the motorcycle for Ranger, but not too bad actually, considering just flying only. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do the quick dash, which I covered in a video earlier of how to do that, which seems to be her best option for recovering energy and still being fast. This came in at 52 seconds, so a little bit slower than 10 seconds slower than her flight control item. I will have a breakdown at the end of the video as well of all the numbers. So not too fast, but I didn't figure it would be, because usually if you're going to do the quick dash, usually you'll take the level 88 100%, or not 88, sorry, you'll take the 100% dash speed item. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a continuous dash with the same, this is the same dash item that I used in the previous test, but I'm going to do continuous dash the entire time, instead of doing, getting on the ground and dashing, getting on the ground and dashing again. So this came in faster, of course. It came in at 37 seconds. So this is the level 88 item that she has. It's just her best energy core, non-DLC, that doesn't have like any kind of boost to her dash. So if you do the quick dash with this item, it's 52 seconds. If you do the continuous, it's 37. And now onto her quick dash item, which is 100% increase. And I'm doing the quick dash thing where you actually gain energy back. And with this, it's pretty fast. It's 27 seconds, so very, very quick. Almost as quick as Ranger's motorcycle by using the 100% dash item with the quick dash. And now I'm going to do a continuous dash with that same item, the 100% dash increase. The reason I'm going to the right is because I didn't have enough energy to make it to the end if I didn't start on top of a building, so that's why. So this comes in at 20 seconds. So this is 3 seconds faster than the fastest so far, which is Ranger's. So that's pretty interesting. So that quick dash item is very cool. Very good. Alright, so now we're on to aerator. Just the normal rolling. We're going to test just the speed of rolling. It is kind of tough to get the perfect timing for the roll, to get it, the perfect frame, so I rounded off a few seconds. So it turned out to be 1 minute and 52 seconds. So, of course, I figured it'd be very slow. But just wanted to at least test it out. And the next thing we're going to do is the tanks. I tested all the DLC tanks and the railguns and the non-DLC tanks and railguns in the same speed. So all of his tanks and railguns come in at 50 seconds even. So not too fast. I want to say that it felt like 4.1 had a faster tank, but I don't know. At this point, it's been so long, honestly. But yeah, we'll compare that to his Vegaltas here in a moment. The next thing I'm going to test is the APC, which is actually very fast this time. It's a little tough to take around corners, but it's very fast in straightaways. So as long as you have flat roads, it's pretty good to drive. I do include the startup time as well for the sprinting and then the vehicles and all that. So this comes in at 28 seconds. So that's only 5 seconds shorter than Ranger's motorcycle. So really not too bad. This vehicle is very, very fast. It's very similar, actually, to his Vegaltas. So that's kind of something I didn't expect. Alright, now on to the ambulance here. The ambulance is not too fast. This is actually 2x speed here. I actually doubled the speed here, so this is not the correct speed, but it's slower than the tank, of course, so I don't know if it's actually going to be worth using the ambulance to do any kind of kiting, but we'll test it nonetheless. And oh my goodness, rip my life. Alright, on to helicopters. Helicopters for air raiders seem faster than the Rangers. Let's see, what we have for the helicopter is, they all seem to be the same. I did test the DLC and the normal ones as well. They all come in at 34 seconds, and that's compared to Ranger's 1 minute and 1 second helicopter, so quite a bit faster actually. And now we're going to go into Vegaltas. Vegaltas are the thing I usually like to kite around with, so I wanted to test a blue one just because might as well. Usually you're not going to use this one to kite around and throw air raids while you're running away from enemies, but I figured I at least want to find out the time of this one. So for the blue Vegalta, this comes in at 1 minute and 13 seconds, so very, very slow. It's the same as actually Ranger's, actually a little bit longer than Ranger's helicopter, but yeah, not too good for kiting, but I just wanted to at least get a time on it. But the red ones, the shotgun ones, the flamethrower shotgun one, and then the DLC ones are the ones you're going to want to use to jump around the map and throw air raids from. So that's what we're going to do next here. We're going to go to the red one next, which is non-DLC. And this one is very, very fast. As you can see, it kind of hovers a lot more without even holding down the jets. It just seems like it floats more, so that's what makes it fast. This one comes in at 36 seconds, so very fast, and definitely faster than most enemies, so you can get away from them and run away, throw air raids. And the DLC one is next here, and I figured it'd be faster, but I wasn't sure. I felt like it's fast, but I wasn't sure if it was quite a bit faster than the red one or not. It did turn out to be 10 seconds faster than the red one, so this came in at 26 seconds. So it's almost as fast as Ranger's motorcycle, so that's pretty crazy. So this thing is definitely amazing for getting away from enemies, although it can be a little detrimental because it can be hard to control sometimes because of the long jump, but it has good jets on it, so you can kind of control it. Alright, that's oh no, one more thing for air raider. It'll be the depth crawler. I wanted to test this one. This is the DLC depth crawler because the other ones are slow. Or not slow, but they're a lot slower, so this is the only one worth testing. This one actually came in at 1 minute and 2 seconds. So to put in perspective, that's the same as Ranger's helicopter, which is kind of funny to think about. But yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's good above ground because of the speed and its health. It has 20,000 health, so not too bad. Good vehicle overall. And that's everything for Air Raider. So Air Raider's fastest is the DLC Vegalta for sure. And then the APC is pretty close too, 2 seconds over. Now we're going to do Fencer. Fencer, actually the twin spears are actually pretty fast. So what I'm doing is I'm holding down both triggers, and then in between reloads I'm just going to dash 3 times and then continue the holding down both triggers the whole time. And this, believe it or not, comes in at 27 seconds for the non-DLC version because there's less ammo in those, and then 29 seconds for the non-DLC and 27 seconds for the DLC ones. So pretty fast, considering it's just, you know, using the weapons to fire only and then dashing in between. So not too bad. The next thing we're going to test for Fencer is dash hopping. This is just his normal campaign dash hopping, where you have 6 dashes, 6 jumps, and this is where you start from the ground and then jump to the ground and then continue your dash hopping once you land on the ground. So I'm not going to be doing anything special in the air, and then dashing 4 times in between when you're waiting for your cooldown. So this dash hop comes in at 34 seconds, so it's actually slower than the twin spears, which is kind of crazy to think about. Now we're going to do the dash hop continuous, where I'm going to continuously jump in the air. What I'm going to do is, this seemed like the fastest way for me to do this was the dash hop as fast as I could 3 times, and then land to the ground and do it again, and then dash 3 times after I get to the ground again to wait for the cooldown. And this came in at 33 seconds, so just a little bit faster than the normal dash hop way, but I figured I want to try it because it seemed like if you do the dash hop quickly in the air 3 times, it seemed like it's a little faster, but it's only 1 second faster. Now we're going to go on to the dash hop with the DLC items. This is where you get 10 dashes and 8 hops. So I'm going to dash hop 8 times and then dash 4 times waiting for the cooldown, and then dash hop 8 times again. And this comes in at 30 seconds, so you save 4 seconds by having the extra dashes. So not too much difference. And now I'm going to do continuous dash hopping with the DLC, where I'm going to dash hop 8 times in the air, and then I'm going to get to the ground, wait for my cooldown, and then dash hop again continuously in the air. And this does turn out to be a little bit faster, actually. It's actually 26 seconds, so you save 4 seconds from doing it normally by doing the continuous dash hop. But it's not a huge difference, but I mean it could make a difference, I guess, for dodging wasps or something, so something to keep in mind. So yeah, that's everything I tested. As you can see, here's the breakdown. The best things for Ranger is by far his motorcycle, coming at 23 seconds. Wing Diver actually is the fastest from my testing. If you use 100% dash increase and you just continuously dash non-stop until you overheated, that is technically the fastest, but once again she has to stop after she overheats, so that's something to keep in mind. The fastest thing for Fencer is the 10 dashes and 8 hops continuous, but it's not too much difference between all of his options. They're all, you know, low 30s to high 20s, so he's all pretty much relatively the same speed. Air Raider has his DLC Vegalta is by far the fastest, so that's pretty nice. And then his APC is pretty close too, which I was surprised at that. And tank railgun doesn't seem very good to use to kite around anymore enemies. It seems like Vegaltas are definitely the way to go, quite a bit faster. And a helicopter, of course, is always a good option. Wing Diver, some surprises for me was the typical way you're probably going to use Wing Diver is, if you want to do speed setup, is you're going to use 100% dash increase, and then you're going to do the quick dash. So that comes in at 27 seconds. And if you look at the Wing Diver's 30% flight increase, which I think is level 80, that's 41 seconds. That's still pretty fast. So I'm pretty impressed with that level 80 30% flight speed increase item. So I think it's actually a relatively good item. So I think I might be using that more often, knowing those numbers a little bit, you know, a little bit more accurately. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I hope you found this helpful, and once again, thanks a lot for watching. And remember, EDF doesn't leave a man behind, ever. And if you'd like to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing, as it does make a big difference. Thanks.